I'm Eleanor, a 70-year-old woman who, until recently, played the role of a fragile widow to perfection. But as you've heard, that mask hid a sharp mind and a substantial fortune. $2.8 million in assets, investments, and properties built over decades with my late husband. My son Ethan and his wife Jessica saw me as an easy mark, a helpless old lady they could manipulate into co-signing a loan for their dream house, only to default and seize my home. They even resorted to violence, with Ethan breaking my index finger in a fit of rage when I initially refused. But I turned the tables, gathering evidence with the help of my lawyer Victoria, pre-bots investigator Thomas and bank manager Robert. We exposed their scam at the bank, leading to their arrests for fraud, elder abuse, and conspiracy. Now, with them behind bars and my story making headlines, I've transformed my pain into purpose through the Eleanor Foundation for Elder Protection. But there's so much more to tell about the aftermath. The lives we've touched, and how one woman's revenge sparked a movement. Sit back, this is the full expansion of my journey, from betrayal to triumph. To truly understand how I got here, let's rewind a bit further than I did before. My husband, Harold, passed away 5 years ago from a sudden heart attack. We were high school sweethearts, married for 45 years. Harold was a quiet genius in finance. He started as an accountant but built a small empire. Through smart investments in real estate and stocks, he taught me everything: how to spot a bad deal, how to diversify assets, how to read people like balance sheets. Eleanor, he'd say, money isn't power, knowledge is, and discretion is your shield. After he died, I inherited it all, but I chose to live simply. Why? Because Harold's final words echoed in my mind. The world preys on the weak. Pretend to be one, and you'll see who's really on your side. So, I did. I downsized to that modest bungalow, drove an old sedan, wore thrift store clothes. My other children, a daughter in California and a younger son in Texas, visit sporadically, but Ethan, living nearby, became the focal point of my quiet observations. He was always the ambitious one, but ambition without ethics is poison. Jessica entered the picture 3 years ago, a sharp-tongued beauty with eyes like a calculator. From their wedding day, I sensed her disdain. "Oh, Eleanor, you look so quaint," she'd say, hugging me while scanning my home for valuables. Their visits started innocently enough: Sunday dinners, small talk about work. But soon, the asks began. "Mom, can I borrow $500 for car repairs?" Ethan would plead. I'd hand it over, noting how he never repaid. Jessica would chime in with stories of their struggles. From her boutique business failing, Ethan's job instability as a mid-level salesman, I listened, nodded, but filed away details: the new watch on his wrist, her designer bags. They thought I was oblivious, but I was building a dossier in my mind. The loan scam crystallized over months. Their visits ramped up, always steering to my future. "Mom, have you thought about assisted living?" Ethan asked once, his concern as fake as Jessica's highlights. I'd feign worry. "Oh dear, it's so expensive. I barely get by on Social Security." I'd even stage scenes leaving past due bills on the table, complaining about aches that didn't exist. It hooked them perfectly. Greed made them bold. That Tuesday when they presented the house photos, it was a masterclass in manipulation. The mansion gleamed in the pictures: marble counters, crystal chandeliers, a pool sparkling like a jewel. "It's our fresh start," Ethan said, eyes gleaming. Jessica added, "And that guest suite. Perfect for you, Mom. No more lonely nights. I saw the trap. Isolate me. Control my assets. I played along, asking naive questions while my heart raced with strategy. After they left, I didn't panic. I brewed tea and called Victoria. She's not just a lawyer. She's a confidant, one of the few who knows my true wealth. Eleanor, this smells like elder financial abuse, she said. Let's build your case. Thomas tailed them, capturing photos of secret meetings. The house's true price. $280,000. They planned to skim $80,000. Off the top, texts revealed their cruelty. The old fool won't notice, Ethan wrote. Once we default, her bungalow's ours. Friday's pressure session was tense. I stalled with questions, tears, recordings capturing their impatience. Ethan's mask cracked. Mom, stop complicating things. Jessica's emotional plea. Think of the grandkids. All on tape. I relented for one more night. Saturday's signing was theatrical. They arrived, buoyant, champagne in hand. I signed. They celebrated. But those documents. Victoria had reviewed copies. I knew every clause. They thought they'd won. I knew the game was mine. The bank revelation was poetic. Ethan's face when Robert revealed my fortune. Priceless. $2.8 million. He gasped. I explained my philosophy. Test people when they think you have nothing. He doubled down on greed. Proceed anyway. More signatures sealed there. Fake affidavits, incriminating them. The car ride home exploded into confrontation. You lied. He accused. You broke my finger. I countered. His excuses poured out. Debts. Desperation. No remorse, just threats. This isn't over. But it was for them. Victoria's team uncovered their scam history. Arrests followed in that dramatic bank scene. Handcuffs clicked. Screams echoed. Mom, I'm your son, Ethan wailed. Too late. Post-arrest, the world changed. Media frenzy turned me into a symbol. Interviews rolled in. I chose carefully, emphasizing empowerment. Seniors aren't victims by default, I'd say. We're survivors. The foundation launched humbly. Our first office. A cozy space with garden views for calming consultations. Victoria handled lawsuits, Thomas investigations, Robert financial audits. Our mission: detect, prevent, prosecute family financial abuse. Case 1, Mrs. Ramirez, 72, whose nephew forged her signature on loans. Thomas tailed him. Victoria sued. We recovered $40,000. Her tears of gratitude, fuel. Martina's call came soon after. My son, David, wants my house sold, she whispered. He says it's for my safety. But he needs money for his gambling debts. Familiar red flags. Increased visits. Will questions. Concern masking greed. I met Martina at a coffee shop neutral ground. She was petite, with kind eyes, shadowed by worry. He broke into my safe once, she confessed. Took $2,000, said it was a loan. I nodded. That's how it starts. We'll stop it. Our plan mirrored mine. Document everything. Martina wore a recording necklace, my locket's cousin. Thomas followed David, uncovering casino visits, shady loans. Victoria prepped legal shields of trust, protecting her assets. David escalated, showing up unannounced. Mom, sign this power of attorney. It's for your good. Martina stalled, as I'd coached. Recordings captured threats. If you don't, you'll end up in a home. We struck at a family meeting. David insisted on. Victoria posed as a financial advisor. When he pushed the sale, She revealed the evidence. "This is coercion," she declared. Police waited outside arrest for attempted fraud. Martina hugged me after. "You saved my home and my dignity." We recovered her loans, plus therapy funds. Case closed. Another win. The foundation grew. By year 1, 50 cases, $3.5 million recovered. We hired staff counselors for emotional support, educators for prevention workshops. I spoke at senior centers. Watch for signs student interest in your finances. Pressure to sign documents. Trust your gut. A highlight, partnering with AARP. They featured my story in their magazine, leading to national seminars. Eleanor's method, they called it discrete observation. Evidence gathering, legal strikes, personal growth came to. I dated a widower named George, met at a foundation event. He knew my story, admired my strength. "You're no fragile flower," he said. We traveled first vacation in years. Ethan wrote from prison. Apologies, regrets. I visited once. "Mom, I was wrong." Tears flowed. Forgiveness. Partial. "Prove it post-release," I said. No inheritance for him, redirected to the foundation. Jessica divorced him in prison, blaming him entirely. Poetic. 2 years in, the foundation went international. A Canadian senior contacted us about a similar scam. We collaborated with global orgs, exposing cross-border frauds. One case, Mr. Patel, 78, Indian immigrant, whose daughter-in-law drained his savings. Cultural pressures silenced him. We provided translators, cultural sensitivity training. Recovered $100,000. He started a support group. Challenges arose, threats from scammers, legal battles, but we persevered. Funding grew, donations from inspired supporters. Today, September 29, 2025. I'm in my office, medal on the wall, photos of 200+ helped families. A new call, Mrs. Lee, 69, son forging checks. The hunt begins again. My story proves age is armor. Betrayal hurts, but rising stronger, that's victory. If you're facing this, reach out. You're not alone. We're the hunters now.